Wouldn't you like to know that you had a dumb idea before you spent a lot of effort on it? If we could just protect ourselves from the dumbest ideas that we had in our lives, how much better would things be? Because a lot of success comes down to avoiding stupid and being very good at a few things. So it's a few successes and a few failures, and then it's a big bell curve. But if we could just chop off those failures, think about how much better you can be. That you didn't run down all these rabbit holes of things that you tried because you just did a little experiment, and that directional test said, hey, put the brakes on it. This probably isn't a good idea. You've saved yourself a lot of pain and a lot of time and a lot of money. In this video, I'm going to go over 3 kinds of tests that I do to make sure that I don't ever get into trouble by running down with a bad or a dumb idea. Instead, I can do these tests, the directional test, which just cost me a few dollars in 48 hours, and then I go on to a statistical test, which is going to prove to me that something is likely to work, and then a revenue test where I'm actually making money while I'm testing if the idea is good. And if you run through these 3, you will save thousands of dollars in many months, and you will get many better ideas. And very importantly, you're going to save yourself from making a lot of mistakes and jumping on dumb ideas. The question is, why do you want a directional test versus just skipping to, I'm going to run a test and I'm going to see if people give me money? Well, if you're going to run that test and you're going to get some confidence that they're going to give you money, you have to run a certain amount of advertising dollars, right? So in the Facebook ecosystem, to know, just to take it as an example, Google's got its own numbers, but in Facebook ecosystem, you can't really get confidence unless you're running 50 conversions a week, right? That's just how that works. And then you need a certain number of dollars volume and a certain number of transactions in order to have confidence that that's happening. And maybe you need less confidence, maybe more confidence, but the fact is you're probably going to spend on the order of thousands of dollars if you want real statistical certainty. On the other hand, directional, what this is going to do is it's going to tell you this idea is just a dud. People are just not clicking on this thing. Or you might put out 5 ideas at a time and you want to know which is the best. So let's take a different example. Let's say that you got 3 ideas for products in e-commerce. Perhaps that you'll put each one of those and see which one gets the most interest. And then you're like, okay, well, I've got these, but what's the angle of that? Like, how am I really going to get people interested in it? Because it's let's say it's a dog supplement. Now, it's a dog supplement for joint health. I'm just picking something out of the hat here. How are people are they going to respond because it's just a dog supplement? Are they going to respond because it is CBD and that's what they want? Or is it because they're going to respond because my dog is getting old and I want him to not have pain? Is it because I want to play with him like he was young? All of those things are directional tests, which can tell you people are more interested in this way of thinking about something. And by doing that early on, as you go to the next stage and actually do a statistical test, now you're going to be able to see, oh, okay, this angle is resonating. And now this angle is actually going to change how you sell the thing downstream. Because what they want, let's say they feel that they want their dog to feel like he's young again and be, have energy and things like that. That's going to change when you finally get to actually putting something in a cart. What the upsells are, it's going to change perhaps how your marketing looks. It's going to change how you communicate to people. It's going to change all of the things around your brand. So by starting from this directional test, you're able to weed out the stuff which you might think is, like, I might think, oh, well, CBD is the rage. That's the thing. But actually, that's not what people want. I'm able to weed out the bad ideas and then successively get sharper with what they are, spending less. Because that first test is only going to cost me $100, $200, instead of going straight to statistical testing. And like, now I'm spending a lot more, but I'm spending more on stuff that might not have gotten past the first gate, and I didn't need to spend that money. Revenue testing is after the statistical test. So the statistical test, you're saying directionally, I know this is a good thing. Now, statistically, I believe that this will perform better. Now, it's a question of confidence, right? If you're talking to a traditional like CRO person or someone who's doing some kind of online optimization, they'll talk about what's the confidence. I'm 95% confident that this will beat the other thing. But if you always run to 95%, 98% confidence, the problem is the amount of money and the amount of time that you have to spend is generally really high. So in a statistical test, I kind of say, okay, can we get to like the 60, 70% mark in statistical significance in that? And then after that, then we go to the revenue test. And now we're saying, now we want to test to 95%. But again, if we have weeded out the first two gates, we're not going to test everything to that degree. Like another example from my e-commerce company. It is a front-end product, and then we have a recurring revenue product that is an upsell. Now, in order to run a valid test that is revenue-based on that business, it will take us 45 days just because of the number of people that are going through here, right? Only so many people buy the front-end thing, and only a smaller percentage buy the upsell thing. So we don't have enough people going through the system to get 95% confidence unless we run a test for 45, sometimes 60 days. Now, that's a long time to wait. So can I do a statistical test, run it in 20 days, and say, okay, well, does this smell like this might be something that's good enough? And if yes, then I run the revenue test, which is I'll spend 45, 60 days actually testing it because I have confidence. So it's the difference between something that is giving me 60%, 70% likelihood and something that I really want to be essentially 95, 100% likely that this is actually going to work. So now you know you can confidently proceed with an idea because you know it's not a dumb one. You validated it with testing. Now you got to build a business around it. But most business plans are stupid and they don't work, and it's the wrong way to go about it. In this video here, I talk about what it takes to make a business plan that actually works in the modern era. Jump to that now and learn how to make a business that will work for you.